So y'all already know we're a business, finance, a little bit of political news over here, but really we all about that drama, just that business drama. So when I hear something about the big powers, you know, your Apple, your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, but you know exactly what I mean, your big powers, your Amazon, and when they beef, oh, you know we gotta talk about it because it's juicy over here. And right now, Elon Musk is saying that Apple is pretty much trying to kick Twitter off of their app, which I think would be insane because I know so many people with iPhones that would literally lose their minds if they had no more access to Twitter. But let's just get into it. Let's see what Elon has to say about it. And let's figure out this situation because it's pretty interesting for one of the big three social medias. As you know, Instagram, Twitter, and now TikTok. Snapchat's kind of like the little step cousin you don't talk about. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, not having that on the entire iOS platform would be insane. So let's get into what he's talking about because it sounds a little crazy. All right, so it says Elon Musk claims Apple has threatened to remove the Twitter app. Interesting. Twitter owner Elon Musk claimed on Monday in a series of tweets that Apple had threatened to remove the Twitter app from the App Store as part of its app review moderation process. That would be crazy if Twitter, as big as it is, all the money that they have, the place that they have in this industry somehow couldn't, pass an app review moderation process. It says Apple has threatened to withhold Twitter from its App Store, but it won't tell us why. In other tweets fired off on Monday morning, he calls Apple's App Store fees a secret 30% tax and ran a poll asking if Apple should publish all censorship actions it has taken that affect its customers. He also claimed that Apple has pulled most of its advertising from Twitter, which I wouldn't say they pull all their advertising from Twitter, but I definitely see if it could have a large impact. Like, as you guys know, most of the people who have iPhones are social people. Like, let's just keep it real here. Most of the people who have iPhones, they do it for the blue text messages, you know, can't mess with a girl if her messages is green, you feel me? Her messages gotta be blue or you can't talk to her. Snapchat's a lot easier to use. The emojis are a lot easier to use. The Instagram interface looks better. Like, the Twitter interface, I'm not sure, but probably does. Facebook, like, you know, all of that, basically. When I think about it, and let me know if you guys disagree. When I think about it, I think about iPhone people as not necessarily being like, I work in IT. I see Apple as being more of like a slightly easier to use, more kind of for the social person. Whereas if you're kind of like a person who, you know, is used to the older style or the older operating system of phones that used to be back in like 2010, 2005, then Androids may resonate more with you, or Google products. I also think that a lot of people in IT will prefer Androids because there's a lot more that you can do with them. They have a lot more usability. There's a lot more customization that you just don't get with the iPhone. But like I said, that's not what iPhone users are looking for. They are looking to take the most beautiful Instagram pics with all of the filters already imprinted into the camera, you know, that kind of thing. So that's just kind of what I think. So I could see, you know, Apple really needing Twitter in a way, like not necessarily needing them, like they have to have Twitter, but I feel like a lot of people that use iPhones use Twitter. So I think that wasn't really meshed well, but let's get back into what he had to say. Okay, so it says Apple's App Store is the only way to distribute software to iPhones. If the Twitter app were pulled, the social network would lose one of its main distribution platforms, although the service is available for web. Yeah, absolutely. I would actually make the point that Twitter's main users come from Apple. Like, I don't feel like Twitter's main users come from Android phones. I don't feel like it comes from people using the browser. I don't even think people really use Twitter on the computer like that. That's just not even what the app is for, you know. So obviously Elon Musk is gonna fire back because he needs this. You know. It says, in addition, Apple requires iPhone app makers to pay between 15% and 30% of any digital goods sold through their app. I didn't know that, but I mean, that makes sense. 15 to 30% is kind of a high markup, but People have no choice. Elon or Musk has said that his plans for Twitter is to raise billions of dollars from subscriptions such as Twitter Blue, which we talked about yesterday. Check that out if you want to, which is offered through the iPhone app. If it were to grow to Musk's goals, Apple's would collect hundreds of millions of dollars in the process. You know what I'm saying? Definitely great for Apple, definitely great for Elon and them at Twitter. I mean, not to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. Obviously, he thinks this is a markup and everything like that. But it sounds like Apple may not even want to deal with them in the first place. But I think it's probably because he's fighting back on this. I bet if he wasn't and they could just collect that, they probably wouldn't be saying anything. Unless they have some real genuine problem with Elon Musk or the way Twitter is run. Now, it says Apple has faced challenges to its App Store fees and policies from companies such as Spotify and Epic Games, but Musk is no stranger to attracting worldwide attention, which we already know it's the richest man in the world. Come on, it's the modern day Iron Man. Like, come on, of course he gets world attention. And may represent Apple's biggest challenge to control over iPhone app distribution so far. Apple declined to comment about Musk's tweets. We're definitely going to be looking out, seeing if Apple ever, comes back with this, because it's going to be a big thing if Twitter is no longer on iOS because of some beef or some type of, business like disagreement. Like if Musk feels like that percentage should be a little bit lower. Also, if you support the content, you like this, we doing this news, we be having good conversations in the chat. Comment, subscribe, help a brother out. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers, and I be putting in work on this platform. Shout out NGB to the gang. All right, let me stop. But really, though, shout out to all y'all that be commenting on all of that. You know what I'm saying? I just love having good conversations, and I want this to be a place where we can really talk. People are unbiased, and we really have intellectual thoughts about these things. You know what I'm saying? You go out and you have to talk around a bunch of, wealthy people. You actually have good topics to talk about because you done been talking about them over here. Let's go. Representatives for unnamed app stores, which include Apple App Store as well as Google Play for Android devices. If you guys didn't know, Google Play is Android devices because Google owns that, reached out to Twitter earlier this month after Musk took over and after the site saw a wave of hate speech, according to a New York Times op-ed by Yoel Roth, Twitter's former head of trust and safety. Phil Schuyler, Apple's former chief marketer who oversees app review, apparently deleted his Twitter account earlier this month after Musk took over. So that's kind of like, that's kind of like beef. It's a little strange that right after Musk takes over, a higher up, Apple's former chief marketer who oversees app review literally deletes his Twitter. That's not really a good look for Twitter. That might mean the culture and stuff overall at Apple just is not really with it. They may be forced to align with it. They may be forced to do deals with Twitter and stuff like that. But overall, that's just not really a good look when you're instated as the CEO and a higher up of a company that you work with all of a sudden deletes their account. Now it says Philip Shoemaker. What a name, Philip Shoemaker, the former head of Apple's app review and current CEO of Identity.com, said Schiller's move to delete his account reminded him of a company making moves to prepare for war. That's why we're talking about this, people. He believes that Apple's app review department is keeping a close eye on Twitter's content moderation under Musk to see if more questionable content such as, yarn, slips through. So they're really worried about, which I'm actually quite surprised of, because I'm sure there's so much stuff, that, comes through that Apple market store that's probably insane. So Twitter is such a big platform that people are looking at. I'm surprised they're actually reviewing it this hard. Now it says Apple's recent moves were like when you remove troops from a country before you attack. You're thinking you're going to have to pull these apps from the store. And yeah, I mean, it is a little weird if you do have to pull, Twitter from the Apple store. It would be weird if Apple higher ups had, Twitter accounts. That just wouldn't make sense. It's like the company I work for doesn't support this because of the type of contents on it, but I have an account there, so I can definitely, see that. So it says here where Twitter might fall afoul of Apple's rules. This is what we really want to know. So it says Apple requires apps with user-generated content such as Twitter to have strong content moderation systems in place. Insufficient content moderation was the reason why Apple booted Parler, a Twitter competitor, in 2020. Musk has reportedly vastly downsized Twitter's content moderation workforce. So it's pretty much completely in opposition. You know what I'm saying? Elon Musk is trying to free Twitter up, apparently. That's what he says. Allow people to say pretty much whatever they want to and really get their vocal points out. And Apple's saying, hey, we kind of like people, using our phones, our software to have a high level of moderation. So it's definitely butting heads. I definitely see why there's a war here. It also says Apple requires apps to pay fees between 30% and 15%. You assume that they would say 15% to 30%. That's just how you don't normally start with a higher number. But anyways, for digital purchases, when Epic Games put out a system to get around Apple's cut, Apple removed it. If Twitter were to pull a similar move, it may force Apple's hand. So Elon's got no way around that, and I mean, he's such in the spotlight too. Like, even if he tried to pull something like that, I don't feel like he would get away with it. Like, let me know if you guys think he would. I don't think he would. Now, there also might be other reasons, including its insistence that adult content not be discoverable by default. Twitter remains one of the most prominent social networks that allows adult content, opening up gray areas for App Store delays or issues. Also, Apple's App Store uses employees to review each app and update that goes on the platform. Okay, so I didn't know that Apple actually reviews every update. Of course, they should review the apps, The app reviewers often send short responses highlighting issues without being explicit about what apps need to do to pass. Okay. So Musk has tweaked Apple for years and seems enjoying doing so. He has complained about Apple's App Store fees in the past, although the Tesla app doesn't allow in-app purchases. Makes sense, because he doesn't want to lose that cut from Apple. He has sparred with Apple's purported plan to build electric cars, although Apple's secreted product has never shipped a car. So I'm not hearing anything good about these people working together. Let's keep it real. We're not hearing anything good about the Apple Tesla mix or the Apple Twitter mix. Now, in 2015, Musk teased Apple, saying that it only hires rejected Tesla employees, and he calls the Apple the Tesla graveyard. Ugh. Yeah, it's not good. But Musk's moves on Monday go beyond teasing and rivalry and suggest that he may be prepared to fight in a lengthy public relations battle over Apple's rules. In one tweet, he posted a meme in which the car veers off the highway under a road sign offering two choices: pay 30% or go to war. So we can obviously see these two companies are not in agreement at all. It has a lot to do with money. It has a lot to do with censorship. It has a lot to do with culture, because with censorship, it comes with a culture where Elon Musk feels that people should be able to say certain things and Apple disagrees. And Elon Musk would have to fight that because his main platform is Apple's platform. But the thing that Apple has respect is they do make so much money off of Twitter. A lot of their users will be very angry if Twitter is removed. And, that kind of thing. It's one of those things, kind of like Kanye when he left Adidas, or when he got fired from Adidas. Adidas had to kind of fire him because culturally he doesn't meet the environment that they're in. But realistically, Kanye was 10 to what he was either 10 or 20% of their sales, which, as you guys know, is millions, if not billions of dollars for Adidas. So it's very hard to cut somebody out like that. So even though you may disagree with them, this is where these real business deals come into play, and where you really gotta, buckle down and get to talking, work this out. Hopefully they can work this out to where it's advantageous for both groups, where Twitter's censorship doesn't really reflect over what Apple is trying to push, but also Apple has to be able to understand that Twitter is an app ran by Elon Musk. It does a lot for them and everything like that. And if they possibly want Twitter on their market, then they may have to give them some leeway. So let me know what you guys think about. I'm actually pretty interested to hear what you guys think about this topic. Like, do you guys think Apple's right? Do you guys think Twitter's right? Do you guys think they're going to be able to come to an agreement, or nah? You know what I'm saying? So let me know. Also, like, comment, subscribe, all that. You know what I'm saying? Share the content, all that good stuff. We just gonna be talking over here, and I love talking to you guys in the comments, seeing what you guys have to say. I love when you guys defend me against the people that be trying to attack me. Like, just because I be giving my points doesn't mean you gotta be rude. You feel me? Like, just give your point. Like, hey, I don't care if you disagree with me. That's fine. Actually, I would prefer you to disagree with me so I can see a different standpoint. But you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. You guys have a great day. Be blessed and use Twitter if you got an iPhone because it may not be around for too long.